Arteta's side are clicking on the pitch, but the furore around their number one threatens to derail a great start to the season. Declan Rice earned Arsenal 3 points at Luton in the most dramatic fashion imaginable on Tuesday evening. Deep into second-half stoppage time, Zinchenko created some space on the edge of a congested penalty area with an ingenious cutback and offloaded to Martin Odegaard, who then played an inch-perfect cross for Rice to head home. The goal salvaged a 4-3 victory on what was, in many ways, a pretty positive night for the Gunners. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus both scored after criticism about their lack of goal output. Kai Havertz put in perhaps his best display yet since his £65 million move from Chelsea, and Ben White softened the blow of Takahiro Tomiyasu's recent injury by providing a fabulous assist. However, all of these storylines paled into insignificance at full time. Once again, the focus was squarely on Arsenal's confused goalkeeping situation, with David Raya committing 2 heinous errors which gifted the newly promoted Hatters a 3-2 lead in the second half. As he has done all season, Arteta did his best to mask the problem with a blunt response to the media. When quizzed on the Spaniards' shaky form after the game, he replied, "I was so happy for the team. I have spoken to all of them, they are so happy they are jumping around." But despite Arteta's best attempts, it was impossible to ignore the significance of his chosen number one's hapless performance. His first error gifted Luton their second equaliser of the game, with Raya flapping at a corner and allowing Elijah Adebayo to nod home. Things soon got worse too. Ross Barkley may have rolled back the years by powerfully driving through midfield, but his left-footed effort should never have squirmed under Raya's body and into the back of the net. The Spaniard will have been immeasurably thankful that his blushes were spared by Havertz and Rice at the death. Still, it was a seriously concerning display, with Luton boss Rob Edwards hinting that his physical side had targeted Raya with a barrage of crosses during the game. We wanted to make it as uncomfortable as possible, Edwards told Prime Sport. We were probably going to have to be slightly different away from home when we play them again, but here we've got to use this place as a bit of a leveler and try to make it difficult for these top teams and not give them the game they want. Raya's latest mistakes were not the first he's made this season, with the 28-year-old enduring a mixed start to life in North London. It wasn't what Arsenal would have envisaged when they finally snapped up the long-term target in the summer on an initial loan deal from Brentford. The reasons for signing Raya were obvious. Not only did he register the best save percentage in the Premier League during the 2022-23 season, but he also seemed capable of offering his team more in possession. After Raya's arrival was confirmed, Arteta was incessantly quizzed on who would be his number one for the season. He initially remained tight-lipped, saying back in August, "We want 2 players per position. You saw what happened to Jurrien Timber, it can happen to our goalkeeper, it happened to Thibaut Courtois, you have to be prepared." Eventually, though, the mast slipped, with Ramsdale, who had started the Gunners' first 4 Premier League games, being replaced between the sticks by Raya against Everton. After this bold call, Arteta attempted to outline a utopian vision where the 2 goalkeepers would rotate intermittently, sometimes even during a game. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola made a downbeat assessment of his side's recent form after their winless streak stretched to 4 games. For the first time since Guardiola's first season at the Etihad, City has gone 4 Premier League games without a win. As they were outplayed against Aston Villa, which prompted the manager to acknowledge that his team was struggling. Guardiola also responded to Luton Town boss Rob Edwards calling Guardiola's side the best team in the world. The Spaniard believed that his side do not in fact deserve this acclaim due to their winless run, although did thank Edwards for his words. "I think for everyone in the club, it's good what we are living. I think it's necessary to live that. For a long time, it was about how good we are," Guardiola told reporters on Friday. "Maybe we need it. It's terrible, we are unbeatable and we are now not able to win 1 game. In the big moments, I was realizing that. Maybe for myself first, I need that challenge to prove I'm a good manager. For the players it's a good challenge, that Aston Villa were miles away from all of us. And now we may not qualify for the Champions League next season. They are Luton Town, doing really, really well for the way they played. Top clubs and teams like Arsenal and Liverpool have struggled to win, it will be the same for us," he added. "Hopefully it doesn't make us weaker." Thank you for the words from Luton boss Rob Edwards. It's a football game, and in that moment, we are not the best team in the world as we are not getting results. When you are winning games, you are the best team in the world. When you are not, it's a crisis. It can be exaggerated on one side, but that's the reality. The run of poor form has seen the City side drop from within reach of the top of the table to fighting for the Champions League spots. Guardiola continued by cautioning that fourth-place City may have difficulty earning a spot in the Champions League the following year, but he also gave his team the confidence to bounce back if they encountered more severe long-term difficulties. Manchester City will hope to have a slightly easier time against Luton Town when they take them on Sunday, as they look to restart their campaign and go on to one of their famed runs in the second half of the season. Given the strength of Arsenal and Liverpool this term, it looks like they might need to